Hi guys. Recently, I've been spending some time with Project Cars 3, which are some words which I never thought I'd say again after my initial impressions with the game. On launch, and on the older Xbox One consoles, this is a game which is just plain horrible. It performs dreadfully on the older consoles and it looks horrendous. But now, the next gen consoles are out, and now that I picked up an Xbox Series X for myself, I thought I'd return to this game to see how much better it runs on next gen consoles. To be completely fair, when I jumped into my first race, I was actually really impressed with how crispy the game looked and how well it ran. And that says a lot for a game which I said a couple of months ago was one of the worst racing games to ever grace a console. The native 4K and 60 frames per second work well in tandem, and when driving, the game looks sharp. As you can see from this McLaren gameplay, the car itself and the textures look solid, and when it's combined with the motion blur and the spray particles effect, it makes for a decent looking experience. There isn't anything groundbreaking here, and it certainly isn't the leader in its class in terms of graphics, but they are 100% passable as a next gen game. There are issues with anti-aliasing, or lack of, and this is very apparent when you're close to other cars on track. Just have a look at this cockpit cam gameplay, and look how rough the other cars look when I get up close and personal. However, when all of the conditions are just right, things do look good. I definitely believe the way to play this game is with a controller and in chase cam. And when you embrace P-Cars 3 in this way, there is some fun to be had. To be completely honest, I had more fun in the solo events, such as time trials and even the breakout events, where it's just you on track. In these situations, you don't have to worry about the gnarly graphics from the other drivers, or the overly aggressive and generally not very good AI. However, if you are adamant on playing on P-Cars 3 as a sim, then jump into the GT cars, as this is where everything tightens up. As I mentioned, when racing with other drivers, even with the GT3 cars, the AI driving is erratic at best. But with the difficulty cranked right up, you can have some good battles, just like this battle here that I had at the back of the pack. This style of racing isn't promoted in P-Cars 3 though, as almost all of the career races start you either in the middle or towards the rear of the grid, and expect you to finish on the podium. To complete these goals, you have to run the AI difficulty under what you normally would in any other sim. Otherwise, you just won't be able to climb 20 places in 3 laps and take the win, which will stop you progressing through the career mode. If you do want to attempt some form of close racing, you can still jump into a custom event, crank the lap count up, and race wheel to wheel with AI. But there's only so much fun this can bring when you can't progress through a championship or a season format. But jumping back to the topic at hand, Project Cars 3 is much more playable on the next gen consoles, and the game presents you with a much prettier and smoother experience as a whole. I was actually quite surprised how much fun I got when embracing the arcade nature of P-Cars 3, but just like the first time round, that fun doesn't last as the cracks do still show through this crispy exterior. So there are my thoughts on the current Project Cars 3 situation. If you're enjoying the game more than me, let me know in the comments below and drop this video a like. I'll leave you with a casual tour around the Nürburgring, and I'll see you next time guys.